I don't care if you've been waiting to replace Ezra all night. If you up, smash that like button. Welcome to Black and the Black Times Infinity. I'm your host, Cthulhu's Prodigy, coming to you live and direct from the Vista Smoke Me Out fam with the dank is the dank. On my left, the oldest ninja in the world, old ninja.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness shows you who's the strongest Avenger.
On my far right, engineering on the ones and twos, choke people out on the threes and fours, Chronos.
In a land where hurt people hurt more people.
Last but
Herpes?
not least,
What?
we got your boy Blue.
There's somebody on this podcast that uses their real name. Can't guess who it is.
God damn. And your
What's,
mic a little fucking weird again, Blue.
I think my internet's off, jacked up right now because
Yeah, you're pixelated.
yeah.
Okay. Holy shit, we back up in here, goddammit. Sorry for the delays, the technical stuff going on. Cronus, don't know if you have stats, but
I have stats, but I can't go into the chat right now for some reason. It's just fucking weird. This is like a really strange day.
Yeah, I thought that was
Wow.
just me.
Yeah, Patrick's the first in
Well,
the chat.
it says upcoming, but this is like we're live now, so
weird.
I can't.
You have to
Refresh.
refresh or
I mean, I did.
I'm refreshing the chat.
So
and Papa Bear's in there. He says, "Why don't short calls alerts?" Wait, what?
hopefully he can hear us. So anyway, listener of the week would be J-Rad. Thank you very much for listening. We definitely appreciate it. I don't know who's in the live stream because YouTube is tripping.
Tripping
wait,
balls.
Papa Bear.
Manage.
Actually, it's actually Patrick. Patrick was first in the chat,
There we go. Okay.
and Papa Bear was a quick second.
Good shit. Good
Yes.
shit. Shout out to both of them.
Shit's all messed up.
What does Papa Bear mean? He says, "Why don't shorts cause alerts?" You gotta answer that question in the chat because that's kind of a random ass question.
I mean, I don't know. 'Cause I
Maybe
can't-
Maybe ask the question before we got back on here.
Okay. Yeah, I hope he responds.
I see. God, fucking YouTube, man.
What'd they do?
For some reason, there's like two accounts for the same thing. For this, and it went to the other one. This is like a double fucked up podcast. Now I can see everybody. There we go. Hello. Damn, this is terrible. Sorry, y'all.
Fucking A, man.
Yeah.
I
Fucking
think we were
A.
fucking beginners, amateurs. We've been doing this for 15, 11 years.
I mean, I figured it out in a couple of minutes, but yeah, that was terrible. Sorry, y'all.
We hear it. We're
Terrible.
here for y'all anyway. Thank y'all for being patient, goddammit. All right, old ninja. You know what it is. You know you got something malty, urban, brown. You got to pour out, and for whom's to do?
Bruh, I keep telling you for the last like 3 weeks, it's not always fucking brown. So you know what? I'm gonna smack you across the face with some Four Loko. So there you go.
Damn.
We gonna
Wait,
pour out some
original Four Loko or that bullshit version?
whatever they're selling in the store.
Watered down shit.
The old school shit is like illegal. So if you get caught with that, you're probably gonna end up in jail. Just saying.
Damn.
So pouring out some Four Loko and smacking Project across the face with that sour mix. We're gonna start with George Perez. American comic book artist and writer who worked primarily as a penciler. He came to prominence in the 70s, penciling the Avengers for Marvel, and he returned to the franchise in the 90s. In the 80s, he penciled the new Teen Titans, which became one of DC's top-selling series. He penciled DC's landmark limited series Crisis on Infinite Earths, followed by the relaunch of Wonder Woman as both writer and penciler for the rebooted series. He worked on other comics by Marvel and DC and other companies in the 2010s. He was known for his detailed, realistic rendering and his facility with complex crowd scenes. He co-created the White Tiger for Marvel Comics, which was the first Puerto Rican superhero in comics. He also co-created Taskmaster in 1980. When he got the opportunity to draw for the Justice League of America, he got the most recognition for his work on the Teen Titans. The new Teen Titans. A Teen Titans drug awareness comic book, sponsored by the Keebler Company and drawn by Perez, was published in cooperation with the President's Drug Awareness Campaign in 1983. Side note, this is what it looks like. I have a copy here. I have this kind of sealed. It's not in the best condition. It's in good condition. If you're listening to this audio, go to YouTube. Look at what fucking episode is this? 3,000 or whatever the fuck. It's like 350, something like that. You'll see a picture of
It's May
this.
11th.
The new Teen Titans. What's up?
I said it's May 11th, so that's one hint.
You can look
Find
at
out
the
what
day
episode
too.
this was.
Show. But this picture, this shows his artistry. This was a free comic back in the day. So this is about drug awareness. I actually talked to Bunny Man about this. He says it wasn't worth a whole bunch. However, with the untimely passing of George Perez, this may go up in price, but we'll see. Going back to his Four Loko shout out. In 1985, he worked with Marv Wolfman on Crisis on Infinite Earths. In 87, the relaunch of Wonder Woman was all due to Perez, who took over the title and penciling. To do a different take on Wonder Woman, one rooted in mythology and female power versus violence and hypersexuality, which made the comic a success back in 87. He stayed with the title for 5 years. And during that time in 1991, he drew for Marvel with the Infinity Gauntlet miniseries. So all that drawing was on him. He has won numerous awards for his works in comics. And in December of 2021, he announced that he'd been diagnosed with inoperable pancreatic cancer and he would not pursue treatment. He succumbed to the disease at the age of 67 on May 6th.
Yeah, R.I.P. Super duper power in the world of comics, man.
Yeah.
Serious actor or serious artist.
Yeah, I'm all actor. I mean, I think he's only acted in like a handful of projects. I've actually seen this man, and I didn't realize who he was, but I'd seen him at numerous cons because he kept going to cons, a lot of cons.
I mean, he was, I know y'all hate, but he was on Teen Titans Go as himself, and
Who?
that was kind of cool.
Huh?
What?
Teen Titans Go. He was on there as himself. What was great about that one is he was interacting with all of the Teen Titans, and showing all of the like old school art for them back in the 80s and shit as well. It was really fun little clip.
So that's when he was sick. So he's had numerous medical issues. He had hemorrhaging in his eye, which made him go blind in one eye. And so they had to like kind of drain the blood, which gave him his sight back. But they didn't finish the procedure. But he still continued to work and tour and stuff. But then he had like cardiac issues. He's had like numerous health issues. So, and then the final blow was pancreatic cancer on top of like his other ailments, including diabetes and stuff.
That's a shitty way to go. Like, I have pancreas issues, as everybody on the podcast knows, but like the pain you get from like pancreas pain is like one of the fucking worst pains imaginable. Women have said that have had the same issue that I've had, so that it's worse than childbirth. I'll believe them. I never gave birth to a child, but I can tell you that the pain that I've got from my pancreas has been like, it redefined my level of pain. So yeah, whenever somebody has like some sort of pancreas issue, it's like, man, that's a shitty way to go, because it's like one of those organs that you cannot transplant. Like once your pancreas is fucked, like that's it, and you can't properly digest food. You can't, it regulates your sugar, and that's fucking gone. When it's all fucked up, it's fucked up, and it's extremely painful. So that sucks for that guy.
But you know what's wild though? They actually can just now do transplants on it.
Well, I heard they had like are you sure? Because I know that there's like a thing where there's like a weird machine that they can use. It's like an artificial pancreas.
Yeah. I know absolutely for sure, because I've actually, like, in my real job, responsible for it.
Black market organ dealing? Your real job?
Traffic children and then taking their pancreas and leaving them in a
him and Esther doing that on the side. That's why he was in Hawaii with that.
Yeah. I mean, that's good. If they can do, pancreas transplants, that's great. But man, like, that shit sucks. So, yeah.
All right. Next up on the list, we have Kevin Samuels, controversial American internet personality, image consultant, and lifestyle coach.
We lost Blue. Okay. Keep going.
We did? Yeah, I'm reading, so I didn't see Blue disappear. He rose to popularity in 2020 and was considered a polarizing figure based on his YouTube Instagram live streams discussing modern society and relationships. In recent years, he has transitioned from personal stylist into a social media celebrity who built his following on the image of plain spoken, hyper masculine authority, usually wearing a finely tailored suit. He urged his followers to adhere to rigid gender roles and traditional values. He largely evaluated women for their appearance and youth, men for their assertiveness and money. He was considered a misogynoir, misogynoir. It's so basically it's a
Misogynoir.
subset. Yeah, it's a subset of misogyny that focuses specifically on African American women, race and gender role value. So there. He was that to some and a truth teller to others. Whichever way you may see it, he captured the attention of those in the streets and those in Black Hollywood, especially. In February of 2022, Samuels filmed a music video in which he offered dating advice to the rapper Future for the single "Worst Day." However, Future later claimed that he was unaware of Samuel's reputation in response to the criticism he received for Samuel's appearance in the video. Samuels reportedly passed away while on a date with an as of yet identified woman in Atlanta, during which he began to complain about chest pains before collapsing. He died at the hospital. He was 57.
That's pretty young.
So there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think. Actually, I thought he was way older.
No. I'll be honest. I don't like to speak ill of the dead. However, the impact
Unless it's
that
Rush.
this, well, yeah, fuck that guy, but I mean, I know there's probably a lot of people that listen to this podcast that might have listened to Kevin Samuels and took some of his advice to heart and watched him tear down, mainly black women on videos and laughed about it and made like a spectacle to people, over like his tearing down of black women and mainly black women. And I honestly, when I first started watching, I was like, yeah, it's kind of funny. But like me looking back on it now, like I don't think that what he did was positive, like at all, especially when it comes to like black people in general. Like the fact that he was like publicly tearing down these women for, obvious. Some of them they had obvious issues, and yeah, you can argue with me all you want that they had too high of expectations and blah 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 blah. But I can guarantee you that the vast majority of the watchers that are watching his videos of him tearing down black women were mostly white people. Okay, don't get me wrong. There was like a lot of black people that watched it too, but the way that he spoke to them and his like alpha male, quote unquote alpha male like appearance and stuff like that, to me became like kind of a joke. And I have a problem with like anybody that has not been in a long term relationship, like at all, giving out relationship advice to people because like obviously you don't know what the fuck you're looking for. Meanwhile, you're gonna tear down all these women about what they're looking. Don't get me wrong, yeah, some of those women like they had like lofty goals and like some of them were like really fucked up. But it's like the fact that they were gonna put it out there publicly to like just denigrate black women. To me, I over the past couple of years, it's like man, that's a real bad fucking look for us in general. So those are my thoughts on that.
Well, yeah. Let me say just in terms of my side, and I respect where you're coming from, Kronos. I've listened to quite a bit of him, and I think Corey or Old Ninja really set it up in terms of
Who the fuck?
yeah, my bad. Or Old Ninja set it up in terms of pretty much reading off of Wikipedia. But if you're going to call into a YouTube show seeking dating advice, then you're going to get that person's opinion. I mean, you knew what you were signing up for in terms of you calling in and asking him for his take. I don't necessarily feel bad if you're the one asking for advice. Like if you're going to ask, then kind of be careful what you wish for. And you knew if you had listened to him what you may be in store for in a lot of ways. So he was very honest. And I guess the other thing that needs to be really said, a lot of his advice was also towards men, really just black men specifically, getting their shit together.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Don't
Keep
stop me if
going.
I'm saying something that you disagree
No,
with. Go ahead.
no. I'm gonna take from both of y'all and try to put this together. So, from Cronus' side, I completely get because for those of you who may not have known, Samuels has been married twice. He's been divorced twice, and he has a daughter. And at the time, he was like dating, so he wasn't in a relationship. I think the most current podcast he was on, he kind of hinted there might be two women he was trying to decide on, quote unquote. He didn't put it in those words. Those are my words, but he was basically between two women that he was dating at the time. Um, Along with what Kronos was saying, Vivica A. Fox chimed in and she said like he wasn't because he called himself kind of a healer, but if you listen to what he says, it's not a very, I guess, uplifting and reassuring tone that you would hear from other healers. He was basically just kind of barking at them. And I understand from Prodigy's point of view, you do call into this man, especially if you knew his reputation, to get barked at about your relationship status. And the amount of men that he did coach were far less than the women that he talked about. And a lot of the celebrities had issues with his more recent statements about black women that were at the age of 35. He basically said that you were useless at that age, which a lot of people had an issue with. He literally posted this shit on his Instagram. If
And
you're a single
can I
woman
hold on?
at 35, you're
Can I can I just say in terms of this, just again, not trying to completely bash, but also trying to be as accurate as I can because I listened to that one. The To paraphrase, it was from a dating perspective to him. This is not Prodigy's perspective per se, but from him for him, it was like, well, you have kids by someone else, and you're older, and yet you want somebody making $500,000 a year, and you have unrealistic expectations, and that was his take. So,
so
But at the
yes, that's
but at the same
yeah. So yeah, go
hold on,
ahead,
let
go
me
I
ahead.
mean,
speak for a second.
go
At
ahead.
the same
Yeah, get
time,
it
this
out.
dude is in his his mid to late 50s, and is he picking up on somebody that's in the mid to late 50s? No, I'm pretty sure that whoever he was dating was probably in their 30s or 20s.
True.
So
No idea.
he's speaking sort of out of the both sides of of his mouth. When it comes to like dating advice, because you can't be out there talking about the sanctity of relationships and long term and like all these things. Meanwhile, you're gonna pontificate of dating two different women on the same podcast. It's like, bro, that's not how it works. Like, you don't. I never got the feeling that that dude really understood what it was like to really put in. I hate using the term the work, but I guess that's the word I'm going to use. Putting in the work with somebody that goes through like some hard times and like kind of getting through it, and then giving dating advice. He was just a guy that had fancy things that people looked up to because they had fancy things. Meanwhile, his personal life was not what he was putting out to be. Like, if he was married for like, or at least in a relationship, because I'm not into the whole marriage thing. But if he was in a relationship for like 20 plus years, cool. I guess you would have some experience on what it's like to kind of get through those things. But he's twice divorced and still in dating at age of 57, and he's out there trying to tell women like that what he's saying is fucking gospel and men, and it's like what you're saying is not entirely accurate, And yeah,
Well,
go ahead, man.
I was just going to say, a lot of times, and everybody's going to have their own take on this, and that's totally fine. A lot of the advice for men was work on yourself in terms of gaining skills, try to get a career, don't be lazy, a lot of that. For women.
So I'm
Well, I was
gonna
just
I'm
going to
gonna
okay.
I'm gonna put
Wait,
your
what guy are we
this
talking about
is
right
his
now?
direct Kevin
Sorry,
Samuels.
I just jumped back
Yeah,
into the chat. All right.
Go ahead.
that's all good. It's happened to me plenty of times. This is his direct quote about the age of 35 thing. He says, and I quote,
Go ahead.
"If you have made it to 35 and you are unmarried, you are a leftover woman." End quote. He continues on saying, quote, "You are what is left. Men know that there's something likely wrong with you, whether you want to hear it or not. I'm going there with you. I'm telling you the truth that you don't want to hear." End quote. And then he
Again,
continues to go on Instagram to say successful men cheat. Either you deal with it or not. End quote. That's not, I would not put that out there as a positive thing to be like, oh, expect your successful man to cheat on you. And you need to basically deal with it. Like, you need to accept the fact that your very successful husband or boyfriend is going to cheat on you.
I
And
would
you need to be prepared. I'm like, dude, what kind of shit is that?
I would say this though. I would say this though, and I'm not defending all of that quote or anything like that. There are a lot of people who do cheat. We unfortunately we know that. And when you talk about you thinking that just because someone is successful, they're not going to, I think that's really foolish.
I mean, sure, but I mean to tell women that are not in those relationships and the ones that are seeking something on that caliber to tell them they're going to cheat on you at some point in time, I think that's
Mm,
a very negative and um,
I think you need to be
pot-
prepared. I think you need.
potentially misguided advice.
I think you need to
Not
be eyes wide open that a lot of people, unfortunately, I don't promote it at all, but unfortunately, have been cheated on and unfortunately dip out on the relationships, which is what
true.
it
I
is.
mean that's what they know about like NBA athletes, football players. We all know eventually they end up straying, especially high profile ones. We know this.
And
But
that's
what's
kind of what
weird to
he's
me,
saying.
is that I just watched like a snippet of him being on another podcast, and he's saying like totally not different, but like he's much more reserved. He's not barking at the. I mean, he's a guest on the show,
Hmm.
but he talks about the working man, the men who work 9 to 5, and the women that don't want them because apparently they're either not making enough or they're not going to make enough. And he's just like, well, these men are that are working 9 to 5, they're hard workers. You can't count them out. So I'm like, okay, that's reasonable.
Hmm.
I think that's reasonable. And he said similar stuff like that. He basically talked about basically blue collar workers and how they're undervalued by these women that expect them to bust their ass 9 to 5 and yet make like 6, 7 figure salaries and spend all their money on them type stuff. So that stuff I kind of agree with.
I mean, yet he's
But
saying expect them to cheat on you. Fuck that. I mean,
yes,
come on,
exactly.
man.
That's
So
the other caveat because he kind of flip flops a bit. So
You don't think a whole lot. I mean, you just said it though, did you? That a lot of people with incredible wealth, unfortunately, can be unfaithful too.
I didn't say that. He said that.
Oh, I thought
There's not a situation where you have a
didn't you?
successful person
You didn't
that's
say the
not
foot.
going to.
You didn't say the football thing just now. I
I
didn't hear.
I said that. I said high profile football players. Not every
Okay.
football player cheats.
Okay.
But see, you got to with those with celebrities and stuff like that. You kind of gotta. I mean, when you're getting pussy thrown at you, fucking like every goddamn day, like it's hard
Especially
probably not to like.
especially if it hasn't been happening to you in high school or
Yeah,
college.
exactly. If all of a sudden you like you were fucking an ugly duckling, and all of a sudden you're fucking the number 1 draft pick,
that's not
pussy's gonna be thrown at you on a fucking regular,
that's not an
and
excuse
it
though,
for you.
man.
I know it's not an
That's true.
excuse,
That's
but
true.
like everybody's got a breaking point. I mean, the human body is weak.
Yeah,
No,
well, it's not just the body; it's
I
the
fuck
mind. Your
no. Hold
mind
on, just
too.
real quick. All right, I disagree wholeheartedly because people want to talk about the masculinity, and if you want to talk about masculinity, it comes to like real shit like this. Like what masculinity to me is like really providing for people and your family, and it comes to like avoiding temptation.
Yeah,
Like if
Mm.
if you are somebody that can't fucking ignore pussy getting thrown your direction, then I'll have to put it in this way: like how much of a man are you really? Like for
Mm.
real? Like if you can't literally like put aside some side chick for your goddamn family and a woman that you say that you love, then how much of a man are you? Like to be
Mm.
honest. So
Yeah, how
I
much
can't stand when these
fortitude?
motherfuckers talk like this and they look people look up to people like this. Like, oh yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. It's okay to cheat. It's okay to cheat. Because that's what people do when they have money. I've got money, I can cheat. Or maybe if I don't have money, people that have money cheat, so I'm gonna fucking cheat too. Fuck that shit. Like we're just lowering the bar on shitty behaviors in a relationship. I don't know why this is acceptable today, but to me it's not. Like it's fucking bullshit.
But
Yeah, I
it's
agree.
nothing. But it's hold on. It's nothing new. Like this isn't a today thing. That
Just
No,
because it's
no,
not new
I'm
doesn't mean we
honestly
can't break the cycle.
it's
that's fine. Hold on, just real quick. It's nothing new that people who and we're talking, this is mostly about men who were really very successful. Unfortunately, I'm not saying this is some positive attribute, but unfortunately, a lot, not all, tend to do some heinous shit when it comes to relationships and cheating.
Well, then put it
I
on.
don't think that that's controversial.
Then put it on that level. But when he's saying it, it's like uplifting it. Just expect it. Expect for some dude to cheat on
Oh
you.
yeah.
And for me, that is like
Mm-hmm.
elevating it to like just accept it. It should
Mm-hmm.
not be acceptable for somebody to cheat on you and you just still sit there in a relationship like, oh well, this guy said it's normal for somebody to cheat on me. I'm just gonna stick with it. But it's like,
Yeah.
come on, man.
Well,
Like
So
for real.
I didn't hear the whole stick with it. I heard that it's common.
no,
Hold
that's
on.
his quote. His
I'm just gonna
quote
ask you a
says
question.
expected.
Did he
Hold on.
ever say break up with those, leave that person if they cheat on
I
you?
heard. I hold on. Let me answer. I did hear that stuff.
I didn't hear any of that.
Yeah,
100%.
I mean, again, I've done a fair share of listening, not just to clips, but a whole episodes. Yes, there were times when there was a clear explanation of, hey, there's a lot of people making a whole lot of money that are ain't shit people. And if you are saying that you will only, and I want to be clear on this, you as a woman will only date somebody making $500,000 plus a year, and that's your criteria, like they have to make that, please know that in that category, there are quite a few men that do cheat. And, do what you want with that information, but I don't think that that's anything new.
Well, no,
So
it's not that it's not new. It's the fact that he's setting them up to be like it's normal. That's
mhm.
not. I mean, it shouldn't be normal. Like
Not
that
only
should not be
that,
something that you should expect.
Oh,
exactly,
That should
exactly.
be a red flag, and you should
Hmm.
not go for some. You should not pursue somebody like that.
On the flip
I think you
side,
need to
he
go in.
tells men to run about what you're talking about.
I didn't get that.
On the flip
Wait,
side, he tells men to avoid women he tells them to run from women that are like searching for that 500K plus income, and she comes in with a couple of kids, and
Oh yeah.
he literally what told this chick that she had like baggage pussy or whatever. Like he told her she came with
Okay,
used
but
pussy.
are we gonna be honest though on here? Or are we gonna lie?
Why would we lie? It's true.
What are you
He
going to be
said it.
honest about?
Do Is your first option going to be someone who's a single mother with 4 or 5 kids? Mine
well, I've
isn't.
been down that road. I've been down that
My,
road. No.
Mine is not. Let me be really clear right now. Just speaking for me, Prodigy. Mine is not, and it was not even when I was younger. It's not. Wouldn't be if I was not in a relationship with Mishka. It would not be that. So I don't. You can speak. Y'all can speak for yourselves, but that
Well,
would
for
not be
me,
one
I
of my
can.
first, second, or third option.
Well, not
I mean,
honestly. Go ahead, man.
from my perspective, I did date somebody with kids, and I gave it a try because I was like, she's a great person. At the beginning, I thought she was a great person, but it's just there's a lot of stress that comes with dating somebody with kids, and it's not the kids, even it's like the father of the kids, and like all the different shit, and like you try to be a good positive person, you're just realizing like this kid could just be like, fuck you, you're not my dad. It's like,
Yep.
okay, like that's a scenario that can happen. But I mean, if I would say don't like give it a try, like try to date somebody with kids, you might find like this might be the right person for you, but like it just go in there knowing that it's not an easy thing.
So what? I mean, what Prodigy just said. I mean, honestly, just flip it around. Like I have kids, and I've dated after I got divorced, and you know, it was fine. So I'm in a great relationship now, like way better than I had before. But if it was the same expectation of, a woman, like, would you date a man that had a kid and was divorced? Like, what was their expectation? You know what I mean? So why
Oh
isn't
yeah.
it thought? Why isn't it thought about that way? Like, honestly, I don't really give a shit if a woman had kids before. Like, I'll take it on a case by case basis. I'm not going to immediately just like discount her of, oh, well, she has kids and, had a prior relationship. Like, I really don't care because as you get older, people are going to have kids and they're going to have, different sorts of livelihoods, and you have to take it on
Bag
a
it.
case by case basis. Honestly, I think that if people are just like, oh, well, she's got kids, then fuck her. I think that's incredibly dismissive to a lot of people because people make mistakes, and even if it wasn't even a fucking mistake, even if it was on purpose and they were in love, shit fucking falls apart, and you don't know. But even what you just said, man, like honestly, I don't really appreciate that because you're like, is that your first or second choice? Like, I mean, that to me personally, I don't think I hate when I say me personally because obviously it's fucking me personally. Anyway, that never comes in my mind when I'm like looking at and don't get me wrong, as when it comes to like actually dating people, I'll probably have like the least amount of partners of fucking probably anybody on this podcast, probably including Old Ninja. Probably.
I'm a slut.
Just saying.
I mean, I'm several centuries old, so I'm just
there you go. But at the same time, it's like
You
I'm
got
not.
no winches.
I'm not putting up
not
like these-
anymore.
I'm not trying to like
kicking the
raise
can.
these things of like, just because you have a kid, I'm going to discount you, or you had an ex, that you were married to, I'm going to discount you. Like I want to know like the person as a person and like see how they are, and then go from there. Like if they're a piece of shit, then maybe they'll be a piece of shit. But I'm not going to know until like I give them sort of like a chance and like get to know them. So
I will
and
say
that's for
this.
being real.
Yeah, no, I get you. Everybody's got to answer things individually for them. The more children and babies' father you have, again, this is me. If I was single right now, the less likely I'm going to want to pursue a relationship with you. There's just a lot that goes on with it. I've seen enough, done enough. I would not want that as a first, second, third option for me. I would tell my adult kids or sons or nephews the exact same thing. Not a never do. I didn't say that. I said not it should I would recommend it not being your first, second, or third option,
Wait.
especially given the multiple kids with multiple dads and baby fathers in the picture.
So
That's
quick question.
We're
it's
getting
not a
going.
good look.
Wait,
God damn it.
what's
Go
your
ahead.
what?
Go ahead.
What's your what? What's option 1, 2, and 3? Okay, you got a woman who's single with no kids. Is 2 like a woman that's like paralyzed? Like
Stumpy.
I mean,
maybe
obviously
it's like a
there's plenty-
midget.
yeah, I mean,
Like,
there's plenty of people on the planet. I get it. But I'm just saying that would not be something I would very much look forward to getting into. It
That's
isn't.
fine. I get that. But from your point of view, that's you. But the problem with Samuels is he kind of lumps that in with all these women. Because if you look at most of his interviews with
No,
these
hold
women,
on.
They're young
It was
women.
it was when they called and they said they had, for the most part. Hold on, let me just say this real quick. If you call in and say, "Oh, I have 2 kids and 2 dads," then the conversation is going to go there. But go ahead.
well, yeah. But if you look at you've seen multiple of his uh I guess his podcast or whatever he does. He has an Instagram and YouTube channel. So on his YouTube channel, there's a bunch of stuff on there. I've seen a handful of them, and some of them usually are women with multiple kids. I saw one where the woman had 3 kids. I saw the one where the woman had 2 kids, and he says pretty much the same thing to them about how they're basically. He does ask them what do they bring to the table. That's always his question to them, and he always is like,
And
"Well,
what are you looking for in a man?
what are you looking for in a man? But what are you going to do for that man?" And he always points out that they're used goods almost every time. He may not say those words verbatim, but he points that out every time.
Yeah.
On the guys, it's different. The guys, he asks them, how much do they make?
Yep.
Like, what do you do?
Yeah,
How
and
much
this-
do you
very
make?
this
And
is
he'll
what I
ask
have,
them,
yeah.
do you have a big dick? If you don't make a lot of money, do you at least have a big dick? He asks them do that.
I
He
do
literally
remember
asks
that.
it, and the dude starts laughing, and Samuels kind of gets like perturbed. He's like, dude, you can't answer the question. Do you have a big dick or not? If you're not going to answer me, you ain't got one. And I was just like, what the fuck? He tore this dude apart.
wait, who are we talking about again? I'm lost. Like, I kind of here last minute. I didn't know this was a fucking dating
That's
advice fucking
Blue-
podcast.
Blue
I thought
jumped
we
out
were
for a
fucking
second, so
blurred,
It's all-
talking
it's
about
all
nerdy
good.
shit, not
We're talking
It's all
about
good.
someone
dating a
someone
fucking
who's
chick.
It's all
recently
good.
departed,
How about this?
and Prodigy puts them at number 2
No,
underneath Future.
I don't. I'm not putting it on any pedestal. I think
Under
that
Astra.
what you described in the very beginning, Old Ninja, was pretty middle of the road. I didn't have any disagreements with what you said. I don't have any disagreements with even what Cronus is saying from his perspective on it. all I'm saying is, you know, he's gone. It is what it is. But I think that some things had some merit and value, and some things may or may not. But they certainly called in and asked for him.
That's true. And I will say that some things that he did say did have merit and had actual value. Some of the other shit was just diarrhea of the mouth.
I don't know. Like a
Just
lot
gonna
of
put
the,
it out.
honestly, like a lot of the women that called in, they were really young,
Yeah.
and it was just like it'd be like asking like I don't want to put it. I don't want to disparage these women, so I don't want to give a really bad example. But it's like, yeah, I mean, if you're young, of course you would want the person that you're gonna date, you know, whatever, to make a bunch of money. Like, if you'd asked me in my fucking 20s, even now, fuck, would I want a sugar mama? Yes. You know, like, duh. Like, yeah,
now.
if K-Mac, you know, made $1 million a year, I'd stop fucking working. You know, no shit. But at the same time, like, that's not really what I'm looking for. But you know, but this is me as an older person. But I think that he was really selective on like who he had on to talk to, and they were mainly younger, sort of naive women. Not that all women are naive, but when you're in your fucking 20s and shit, I mean, you don't know what the fuck is going on. Neither do men at the same age. They don't know what the fuck is going on either.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
true.
if you ask them what they're looking for, I can make you just a bet. If you ask women what they're looking for in their 20s, they're going to say a man that makes a good amount of money, that provides for them, you know, so maybe they can not work, if anything. At least they're going to make good money. You ask a man the same question, he's going to only talk about their fucking physical features.
Ass and titties.
And these are two sides of the same fucking coin they're both pretty fucked up when you really think about it. Because there are things that, you know, you're looking at things that are physical, but not, you know, actually things of substantive, or, you know, substantive.
Substance?
Yeah. And then
Sub-Zero?
if you look
Are
at,
you speaking my language?
and if you go on the other side, you're looking at, you know, only things they can provide monetarily, but nothing on any of the other planes of existence. Like, how can they provide for you in your mental health? You know, your mental health. Can they help you? You know, do what you're into. You know, are they not going to be a piece of shit? You know, there's things like that neither one of those people in that same age group that they're talking about at all. They're not looking at the actual person and what they bring to the table besides physical or monetary. But as you get older, you understand this motherfucker knows that, or he did know that. I'm sorry, I don't want to call him motherfucker because he's fucking dead. But he knows that at the age of 57, that there's a thing in between there that needs to be highlighted. And that's what he didn't do. That's what I would have liked for him to do, was highlight the things that are not physical or monetary that you should probably focus on, especially as a young person, because those are things that actually matter. Will this person, you know, see you having a bad day and try to console you? You know, if your kids are fucking up, or how are they going to handle your kids? Are they going to scream and yell at them, or are they trying to empathize with them? You know, if you're out of fucking gas, are they going to fucking get gas for you? It's little shit like that goes a long goddamn way in a relationship that he never talked about on either side. And that's a huge deal. But, you know, it's more sensational to talk about, oh, you got a big dick. Oh, do you make money? Oh, you don't make money? Oh, why you want somebody that makes $500,000? So, you see the problem that I have with this dude? Because he didn't talk about things that actually made people's lives better. It's just sensationalized bullshit. And I don't like the fact that he mainly disparaged black women. You know, it was just a bad look for me, man. So
I get it.
That's my rant.
I get exactly where you're coming from. I mean, those are the ones who called in. The only thing I will say though is,
called in.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying in terms of the selection and whatnot. It was black women calling in, but there was one thing though I will say, man, I know we were belaboring this. He did stress a whole lot of, are you going to bring peace to that household? You as the woman in that relationship, in terms of being his peace and calm. I did get that from not that I'm trying to put a rose-colored glasses on it, but in terms of can you be a sense of calm to that man in terms of being peaceful, not antagonizing, not starting arguments, not throwing grits at the motherfucker. Can you have a peaceful relationship? That's not enough, but that's a start.
It's kind of a two-way street, though. Like when it comes to like,
I was gonna say
being
he
in a relationship,
he does that too for men.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like, when you come home and you can be stressed out, as you can be crazy stressed out, and having your partner there to talk to and kind of basically almost be your fucking like a fucking counselor or therapist just to listen to you. But like when the Swedes come home, like she can be stressed about things, and I'm there to listen to her rant to rave about her job. And yeah, I'm just saying it's a two-way street. Like everybody's got to your home's got to be peaceful. So anybody that comes in the house needs to be peaceful. But if I came home and she gets mad at me because I left the toilet seat up for like the 14th time, like, okay, this is I don't need this right now. I don't need this right now. I already got my boss on my ass. I got my tire blew out, and the dog needs a fucking liver transplant or some shit. Like, yeah, man, you just kind of got to read the room. Like, you can't, like, I don't know. There's a lot of work to being married and being in a relationship, and it's not like money's important, but there's a whole lot more that needs to be taken into account. And like young Blue, I did not know about this. I was like, I want a hot chick, but then I date a hot chick, and I was like, okay, this chick is crazy. I need somebody that's intelligent, medical intelligent. She was like, you don't make enough money. I'm like, fuck, man. Like, damn you. Like, I remember I was talking to this one girl, and we were talking back and forth. She was pretty cool and all this stuff, and she literally, in the middle of a conversation, was like, hey, look, I need somebody who can pay my bills, like pay for rent, this and that. Like, this isn't working out. So I'm gonna stop talking to you. Like, those were basically her words. Like, she stopped talking because I didn't make enough money to pay her way.
Yep.
Like, thank you. Like, you really helped me dodge a fucking bullet, because I am not that one.
Yeah.
I mean, with I keep calling her K-Mac, but she goes by K now for reasons that we'll go over at some other point in time. But anyway, me and K,
I still think K-Mac is cooler though.
No,
not right now.
Not right now.
Not now. I don't know. I don't know the exact reason why.
You do know the why. You know the reason why.
Let it go.
I'm gonna let it go. I'm just like,
I'll tell you if you want, but not on the podcast.
No.
Yeah.
But we're almost to the end of Love Line to Black edition.
Yeah.
Wait, this guy was black?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know who the fuck we're talking about.
If you saw a picture of him, you'd be like, oh yeah, that guy.
Wait, what's his name? Look him up real quick.
Kevin
Samuels.
Not only was he black, though, I will say this: the focus point was, in a lot of ways, black relationships with black men and black women. Mm-hmm. But I mean, that was the core audience. That's at Atlanta, whatever. But just to make sure that's exactly pointed out or whatever. So anyway,
no fucking clue who this guy is. I'm looking at him. I don't know. I've never seen this guy in my whole entire fucking life.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
he looks like a uppity mofo.
God damn, you called him uppity.
Oh man.
I almost said the N-word too. I was like, yeah, he looks like uppity.
Oh man. All right.
When I jumped back onto the podcast, I thought you guys were talking about oh god, what's that guy's fucking name?
George Perez?
No, there's a white guy who used to do radio, and he used to give like man advice. And one advice he had gave saying that you should put hot sauce in your condom after you get done having sex, and that way to keep the girl like using your condom to impregnate themselves. And then like there was a whole situation that Drake happened. I was like, holy shit, Tom Liken, that was his name, Tom Liken.
Oh shit.
And
I remember him.
See that guy?
Like,
I don't know.
That was like the one thing I took away from that whole entire like I listened to this podcast. 'Cause there was a time where we had like a radio station called like Channel or something like that. It was all just live chat talk and stuff like that. And he was on there, and he talks about that. And that was like the one thing that stuck with me for like the longest fucking time.
Honestly, I'll give some relationship advice out for you. All right, I've been together with the same person for almost 12 years now. You know, we've been together for a long time. We're not married. We don't plan on getting married. Stay out of my fucking business. We ain't doing it. All right. Anyway, when it comes to like, God damn, I lost my fucking train of thought.
Dating, relationships.
Yeah, when it comes to like dating. Oh, yeah, when it comes to like, if you're fucking somebody, having sex with them or whatever, and you're a guy with a penis or a person with a penis and another person who has a vagina. All right, I'll keep it real ambiguous for everybody. If you can get them pregnant. All right, and you're at a point to where you're questioning if you're wearing a condom, if they're gonna, possibly like take the cum out of the condom and then put it in their body. Then if you even think about that, then you fucked up a long time ago. Honestly, you did. Honestly, you both did. Both of you fucked up. That you can't be truthful enough with each other to really tell each other what you actually want and to know like who the person is. And I think that's one of the bad things about, you know, our current society is I think people are kind of, I'm not prudish, you know, you fuck whoever you want to fuck, but then also understand that there's like consequences to fucking. All right. And if you're on the same page when it comes to having sex, when another person can get pregnant or you can get pregnant, and you're thinking like, hey, this person might be shady. If you think the person might be shady and it might get you pregnant, or you're gonna get them pregnant, then why the fuck are you in that relationship? Like seriously, like if you think that you can get pregnant or you can get somebody else pregnant and you don't want that, then think about the actual consequences of that, because it comes down to like literally hundreds of thousands of dollars. You know, no matter how much you get paid, you know, it can come down to hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I would just say, listen to that voice in the back of your head, not your dick or your fucking pussy or whatever, and just think about long-term consequences to having sex. And if you think, oh, I got to put, you know, goddamn hot sauce in the condom after I fuck somebody, like, stop fucking them, first of all. Go the fuck home and then reevaluate your fucking life. That's my advice to anybody with a dick. So
if it's your home, you basically kick that other person out and tell them to come back.
Okay, hold on.
Don't come back.
Don't let that motherfucker know where you live. Number one. Number two, fuck them in a motel and fuck them in the ass and in the mouth maybe, and then just leave them alone.
ATM.
Well, I mean, the number one, the thing you should be doing if you're having sex with a condom is buy some spermicide. Like, you know, instead of using hot sauce, you use spermicide. That kills all the fucking sperm inside the condom. So like, they squeeze it in there. There's no live DNA, I guess, in there.
There's condoms with spermicide.
With that, yeah.
But they're using they're using terrible condoms though. But you know, whatever.
Yeah.
They're using the ones that are extra thick.
Yeah.
You know,
I like them lambskin.
Lambskin's terrible.
I can say just flush that shit down the toilet. But then again, it's this people who work for the sewer system be like, no, motherfucker, don't do that shit. Talk about fucking our shitty ass infrastructure toilet system. Can't handle the little fucking jizz and the kind of.
I mean, you don't want to throw the condom like all wet and nasty on like trying to get it into the fucking wastebasket and shit. Like it almost never goes. You're not going to be saying Kobe and throw it in there. Well, really well.
You can't because you don't fucking nut. You don't even know. There we go. Let's set it up.
That's what I had to say. It was going to be me or him.
I knew it was coming.
What I was going to say tonight. Yeah, it was coming one way or another.
I was actually going to talk about like one of the solutions to this would honestly be more. Jesus Christ, that joke was funny. I'm still laughing about it. Would be additional birth control for men, because we have plenty of birth control out there for women. Women can complain about it. I get you. Like, there needs to be more for men. Men, birth control that we have right now is just the fucking snip. That's all we got right now is just, you know, vasectomy for now. Yeah. There's one coming out that I'm still waiting for, which is Vasogel, which is like basically a thing they can just shoot in your vas deferens that just fucking kills the sperm on the way out. That's what I'm waiting for. But it's still not here. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, women's got like fucking, they've got a lot. Like, can we get some of these options for men? But
yeah, we can't do chemical castration because you lose the desire for sex, especially if you're trying to, you like.
So you know this?
Yeah, castration is a bad thing. Right?
Yeah,
chemical castration.
Castration, period. Fuck that.
No,
this is chemical natural.
You get chemically castrated and then you take a bunch of Viagra just to fuck it on the drip. You get an IV of Viagra. The blue
I feel like
drip.
That's death. I feel like that is death right there. Your body wouldn't know what to do. You would just explode.
No. Actually, no. You got to get the rhino pills from the rhino dick pills from
station dick pills.
Yeah, from the gas station.
That's a heart attack.
That's the way to go.
That's a heart attack. That should make your heart race.
That's a hard attack right there.
Yes.
Yes.
That's you go into the hospital with a fucking 8-hour erection.
Yeah. And here's the other thing too. Like they do warn you about that shit. The ratio wise, you use that shit too much, like 1 out of every 64 times or so. It's gonna last longer than you would like it to last. Let's just say that. Hopefully not 4 hours.
That means you got more work to do.
You just go to orgy.
You got more work to do. You got more filming to do. I'm just saying. You can make money off of it. That's a monetary opportunity.
pull a Kevin Samuels and just have them lined up, I guess.
Nah, you go to a swinger party, and you just fucking throw on a
you just
crown and
go-
say King
you just go-
Dingling is
yeah.
here.
And you'll be talked about for months. You'll be invited to all the top parties.
Holy
God
just
Jesus.
saying.
Did you say
This,
the top parties?
Maybe.
Whoa.
God
all right.
damn.
Well, I'm just
Fucking
saying.
Pineapples, and Queen of Spades fucking mounted.
Oh
on
yeah,
your
they'll be
trophy
all
wall.
over there. I mean, Prodigy acting like he knows how to nut bust or something. You ain't got no nuts.
I'm just seedless. That's all. You know, the nut still dribbles out.
He's like a green grape, you know?
Seedless watermelon.
Oh,
are all
shit.
green grapes seedless? Or is it just some of them? It's not.
No, just some of
Okay,
them because
okay.
they have to be bred that way.
Just saying, it's all about the Costco grapes, so they're like fucking super. They're basically the Mandingo of grapes. I don't know where the fuck they get them from.
Oh yeah,
but they're big as fuck.
Dude, have you tried the ones that like cotton candy?
Yeah,
Yes.
man.
yeah, Blue bought
fucking
them for the
witchcraft.
podcast.
Yeah, I brought those up to the podcast, man.
Yeah, Blue bought them to the
That's
podcast.
good.
I'm like, why does this taste like candy? Like, what the fuck? I'm
That
all,
shit's fucking hella inbred.
I was like, dude, did you just fucking roofie us? And
It busted
Or
your
we
mouth
gonna start
like cotton
tripping?
candy.
Oh, it's all bad.
Damn it.
Night, motherfuckers.
Well, we brought the dankness to I guess an RIP.
Yeah, we did.
mean,
I mean,
I'm
that
sorry.
was
Yeah.
the longest rant on a fucking RIP since fucking I don't even know.
That wasn't a rant. That was Love Line the Black Edition. Right after that, kicked that off.
Wow.
Right.
I feel like we
then
talked
and
about this
there.
guy before.
My sister tapped out. Oh,
Yeah, she did. She said
Yeah,
she couldn't
sorry.
take it no more.
talking about too many dicks. Sorry. She had a dick quota. She been done with dick quotas. So
Yeah, she's like, you can talk about 2 minutes. No, I gotta go. Click. It's
yeah.
tapping out.
They added again. Okay. Was that your last one, old ninja?
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
that really was. If it was, I would have cut in if there was one more.
Fucking
But
shit.
I made sure to save him for last because I already knew it was going to explode into a discussion.
Yeah,
I saw that
I
coming.
felt some sort of way about it. Sorry.
No, hold on. It was a
all
great
did.
discussion.
We all
Good.
did. He's basically like the grandfather of Future or whatever. It's like when they find Blue Marvel in Marvel Comics, like he's always been there. It's just like people forgot about him type shit.
Well, I mean, I honestly,
You know,
this is the sad
Gosh.
part. It's like I used to listen to the guy, and I was like, some of what this guy said made sense when I was a little bit younger. Then I was like, this is not bringing happiness to couples. Like what he's talking about is not bringing happiness to couples. And that's when I was like, all right, I'm gonna tap out. It was just like,
You know-
I'm gonna pivot a little bit because I want to talk about something that's happier and also make a really good joke. Hopefully, it's just like when I used to listen to Joe Rogan a lot, and I still like some of his podcasts are still pretty good. But then there's podcasts that he has that are just, for me, they're fucking terrible.
Terrible.
But at the same time, like so recently, this is what we're gonna get into. The Batman
Famous
Unburied,
episode.
the Batman Unburied podcast, dethroned the Joe Rogan Experience on Spotify for being the #1 podcast. And
I downloaded Spotify to listen to this.
So did I. I was like, I'm not even into Spotify, and I fucking downloaded it. Thank God I did, or thank goodness I did. Whatever. Well, I'll get into that in a minute. But some of his fans were just like, "Oh, well, it's it's Spotify doing this, blah blah blah. I bet they're like skewing the numbers, blah 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 blah." I'm like, first of all, how dare you even thinking that Joe Rogan is more popular than fucking Batman? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, for real. I mean, no disrespect for Joe Rogan. Like, he's popular. He's he's pretty funny. He does a lot of stuff, but he's not fucking Batman.
No, he
I
ain't.
mean, come on, man. Like, and even his podcast, it is not as well produced as this fucking podcast. All right, it's him with. It's basically like our podcast, but better, obviously, because he's Joe Rogan. He's the #1 podcaster, except for the last couple weeks. Anyway, but basically, he has intro music, he has outro music, and in the middle, it's just fucking conversation. There's no there's no high production value with his podcast. It's just, it all runs on the conversation that he's having with whatever guest that he's having. That's why it could be good or bad. Batman Unburied is a fully produced. It's barely even a fucking podcast. It's basically a goddamn audiobook. All right,
Yeah.
fully produced with sound effects, fucking music, background vocals,
A-list,
all kinds of shit.
celebrities.
Yeah. It's like, how could you possibly? It'd be like, comparing an IMAX movie to a fucking silent film.
That's
Like,
a good
what are you even talking about? Like, so can we get into like how awesome Batman Unburied is? Have the rest of you listened to this? I don't know if
No,
Prodigy
I have
has.
not.
I'm looking at his light right now.
Yeah,
I'm
look
looking,
at lights.
I'm looking at his boob right now.
Yeah,
That's
the boob light. I was
definitely a
gonna say
boob
that.
light.
I didn't know if you're gonna know. I didn't know if anybody was gonna know what I was talking about. The boob light.
I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very luminous.
I got rid of all the boob lights in the house and replaced them. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
things.
I was like, don't you have some boob lights?
No,
Yeah, so I've listened to it, and as a Batman fan, holy shit, this is great. It's really fucking good. I know, Cronus, you mentioned it that it's up there with Sandman. So
Yes.
if you didn't know, Sandman is it's an audio book, but it's like listening to a goddamn IMAX movie. It's so fucking good, and like the actors and actresses they have on that, it's like top fucking notch. There's even a sequel, which is amazing too. Like I still need to finish it, but like, yeah, this Batman Unburied, it kind of came out of nowhere. Like, I didn't even know this was coming out. Like, it basically was rumor mill from when I heard about it, and Kronos downloaded it, was listening to it, and was like, hey, this is hella good. I'm like, all right, let me go check this out. I'm so.
Well, I mean, we had a little bit of inkling because Winston Duke, who was in Baku on Black Panther, and I'm a fan of his because he was a great character in Black Panther. And I knew that, basically white Batman fans were like mad about him being Batman, even just the voice of Batman. I'm just like, whatever. I'm interested. But what I didn't know is the other like cast of characters. I didn't know Lance Reddick was in this at all. And I was just like, whoa, like when you
I feel
start
like
talking, I'm like, I know that guy.
He's like up there with like Morgan Freeman and like oh god, what's the name of who did the voice of Darth Vader?
Oh, Jesus Christ. James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
His voice is up there with those guys.
Yeah,
like it's
iconic.
deep. It's fucking like, yeah, it's an iconic voice. And when he started talking, I was like, oh shit, they got some good casting in here. But yeah, the casting is amazing. And there's one cast member who plays the voice of Vicky Vale. As I was listening, I was like, this voice sounds too goddamn familiar. Like, who the fuck is this? So I looked her up. I was like, oh shit, it's Aloy from fucking Horizon Zero Dawn.
Is that actually
It's Ashley Birch.
Yeah, it is Ashley Birch. That's what I said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ashley Birch.
Yeah, she plays Aloy, and I was like, oh shit, that's like it was like the voice is iconic just because I've been playing the game so goddamn much. I was like, oh shit, this sounds so goddamn familiar, but I was kind of cool. It's kind of cool to hear her in something else instead of playing Aloy. But what's your take on the whole podcast so far?
Oh, have you listened? You're muted.
No,
Okay.
I didn't. Yeah, I know because I have nothing to say. I haven't listened to this. I don't have Spotify.
God,
So
so
I just wanted to hear what you guys had to say.
It's
so I'm
fucking
sitting
free,
here.
so just download Spotify. Prodigy, have you listened yet? You plan on
Not yet. It's definitely on my list.
Okay. So
They're short too.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah. So
Every episode's only about 30 minutes, so
Yeah.
it's a quick. Right now, there's 4 episodes, and you can power through them.
every Tuesday it's going to drop 2 episodes. So I'll give a spoiler-free, I guess, review of what I think of the show. I'll call it a show because it's basically a goddamn show at this point in time. So this is definitely an original take on Batman. Okay, the first 5 minutes you're gonna be like, what the fuck is going on? Like this is not what I'm used to. Like listening to Batman and just in audiobooks in general. Like it is like it's gory, but it's weird to say because when I say it's gory and you're like somebody's just talking, it's not just they're talking. There's really good sound effects. Okay, so when people are doing stuff, it's just like this sounds really fucking disgusting, and they curse. It's mature. Like I think it's rated MA, isn't it?
Oh,
pretty
I
sure
would
it
say
is.
yeah, because there's a lot of cursing.
Yeah, there's a lot of cursing, a lot of just like foulness and just gore, and it's just there's a lot of really messed up situations, and it's episodic. In like some of the episodes, there's like really interesting like end of the episode. You're like, what the fuck? Like on the end of episode 3, I'm not gonna give anything away. But you're just like, oh shit! Like this person knows something that I didn't know that they knew, and it just kind of changes like your whole perspective of the whole thing. Same thing with episode 2. At the end of episode 2, because the first episode you're just like, what the fuck is going on? Like I don't understand what is going on right now. Like what universe is this in? Who the fuck is this person? Like it's supposed to be it's Bruce Wayne, but like what is going on? And there's other characters that get introduced in the episode 1, and you're just like, I don't know like where this is in the DC universe at all, and I still don't know, but it's fucking awesome. So, uh, I hope that I give this honestly. This podcast is a 10 out of 10, easily for me right now. The the story content, the amount of production that's going into every single episode has been fantastic. I have no idea like where the fuck they're going with any of this. Actually, at the end of episode 4, I kind of do, but not really. It's very much a surprise. It's not like what anybody's used to with with Batman. And you'll see like after the first episode, you're just like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. So anybody that is interested, if you're a Batman fan or a comic fan or even like a book fan or a podcast fan, this is barely a fucking podcast. It's basically a long ass audiobook that's really well produced. So check it out. My highest recommendation. I hope you enjoy it. If you don't, I don't know, go fuck yourself. So
Yeah,
I can't. Oh, go ahead.
I would agree. Like what Carl said, like the production value for this is amazing. Like the first 2 episodes, I was confused as fuck. I was like,
yeah,
what universe are we fucking in? Because I am confused as hell. But there's an episode of the Batman animated series where I kind of have an idea what's going on, and the Batman animated series kind of did something similar.
yeah.
But I'm a little bit like iffy on like exactly what's going on. But like it's very fucking interesting. Like it's the production is so fucking good. Like I'm listening to it, but I'm watching it. Like I can see like everything happening in my head, and like how Kronos had mentioned how like it's kind of fucking gory. Like holy shit. Like yes, like there's the sound effects. It's like especially if you're wearing headphones. If you're wearing headphones, that sound is like in your like I had to pause it because I was not ready for what the fuck was about to happen.
Let me give you just one thing that's really cool about the production value of this. Hopefully it'll sell you on this. But there's like a part of this is something that you can probably read it, but not really. There's a part in the show in the show where you're listening and Alfred is going to go down to the Batcave and he starts playing on the piano or he starts walking somewhere. He's like, I'm gonna go. It's like we're gonna go down to. He doesn't even say where it is, and he starts playing the piano. And in my head, I'm like, I know he's playing the piano to open up the fucking secret passage to the Batcave. And then when he goes in there, like you can hear them walking into the Batcave and the fucking bats and the computers and all this shit like booting up. And he's just like, it's all painted in your brain because you know as a Batman fan what the fuck is going. Even if you weren't a Batman fan, you would just assume in your brain he's doing these things to go into like a secret spot. And it's like it's so well done.
Yeah, and what's kind of great too is that like they're going down there for a reason, and they're like Alfred's taking some people down there. And like one of the people start talking about like what's in there, and like you're instantly like, bam, bam, bam. But then like this person made like a joke, and like I was like, oh shit, like how come I never even thought about that? Because you know how like Batman has like the giant fucking penny is inside the Batcave, and this person was like, oh, is that because you're Albert Pennyworth? I was like, holy shit. That's I was fucking laughing. That joke was so fucking funny. I'm sitting at work just cracking up, and it was such a dumb. That's something with like Batman and Superman, mom being Martha. Like it's something like I should have noticed from the fucking get go, but this shit is basically lying on my plate right now. But overall, the series is great, and I just want to give a shout out to not shout out, but Sam Witwer. He's in this too. So if you don't know who the name is, he plays the Star Killer. He's Star Killer in The Apprentice in Star Wars. He also is in Smallville. He plays fucking Doomsday in that for some weird reason. But yeah,
he's in Supergirl. He's was it the Patriot guy or whatever?
He was.
That's right. He's
not Dr. Liberty. He's something Liberty, but he's still in Star Wars. So pretty much every video game, both mobile and console, the voice of Darth Maul is Sam Witwer, and he also does the voice of the Emperor.
You guys are tripping. He was originally in Battlestar Galactica.
Yes, he is in Battlestar, but he's also in others. He's in a bunch of stuff. He's a cool cat. He's very active on Twitter. He's also a Twitch streamer. He has like a shit ton of followers. He's a pretty decent gamer. So he's a cool guy, cool ass dude.
Sticking with Gotham Knights dropped an extended gameplay trailer.
Yeah.
What Yeah, Blue's grimacing. Let's get into this. What do you think, Blue?
Well, I don't know what it is. There's something about this game that's just not feeling like even when they first. I think if you go back in the podcast, I always bring this up. Like, there's something off about this game. I don't know if it's maybe it's the frame rate or like the animation style or the fact that Batman isn't in it.
Yeah, Batman's not in it.
Yeah, Batman's not in it. No, there's something like I don't know. Like it just seems. I don't know. It's not up there with the tier of like the Arkham games, and I think that's what I'm expecting. But I don't know, just something doesn't seem right with the game.
Well, hold on. So I will sort of mirror your sentiment, only because of the fighting styles between like the two characters that they showed were vastly different from Batman, vastly different. So when they showed, Nightwing, Dick Grayson, he was way more acrobatic, and like the way he's moving around was not like Batman, and so that is that's sort of off-putting, if you're a Batman fan, but it's not a Batman game, so that's one thing. And then when they had Red Hood on the scene, honestly, I wasn't really interested in Red Hood until he went fucking full gun kata. I was like, holy shit, this is like basically you're playing Equilibrium. I was like, dude, this is amazing. Like, let's just keep this going. I just want to play Red Hood the whole time. I have no idea like how the other, two characters are gonna play, but Red Hood, I'm all in.
So let me just say this. That's fucking comic accurate.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really think about it, nobody fights like Batman.
Yeah.
Nobody has the exact same gadgets. And Dick Grayson, as we all fucking know, been paying attention to comics for a whole lot of years, was a fucking acrobat. He was with the Flying Graysons. I mean, like, he is an acrobatic motherfucker. And so when you get him as...
Oh, did we lose him?
Yep.
He's frozen.
You know what? What's interesting is that Dick Grayson's been more Nightwing than he's been Robin.
At this point, yeah. But so is Red Hood. Oh,
Yeah.
Prodigy, you froze for a while, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
You're
Last thing you said was about Dick Grayson in the comics.
Okay. Yeah, I was just trying to say that this Dick Grayson is acrobatic and it's super comic accurate, and I appreciate that. And then I was going to say for Red Hood, that motherfucker is like really grisly with it in terms of...
I said he shoots people, and he was like really big and yoked. That's one thing that I wasn't expecting.
He is big. He looks bigger than Dick Grayson.
Way
He's like
bigger.
super fucking yoked. But I mean, if you watch his gameplay, he's very up close and physical. Like he does that move where he like does a chokehold, kind of puts someone in the hostage. He puts the gun to their head, but it's like a fake out. He shoots everybody else, and then he puts like a grenade on the back of them, and you can shoot the grenade, and it does an area effect and blows up everyone around him. So I'm like, oh, that's actually pretty awesome.
Honestly, I think that's what's off. I think this is one thing that was off for me and probably most people. If you're used to playing that Batman / this goes back to like, Jesus, what was that game? It was like the Sands of Time.
Oh, the Prince of Persia?
Prince of Persia. That is that combat style. It goes back to Prince of Persia. Back for like the PS2 days, I'm pretty sure it is. Maybe PS1,
Shit.
PS2 days, I'm pretty sure. Prince of Persia, they're gonna remake it. That's what started that whole style of like fighting, is like the whole like three-dimensional like fighting style, like going back and forth between opponents. That was Prince of Persia. What was off to me about it is that the visual cues of when they were gonna hit you were like way off in it.
Yeah.
And that's what might have been kind of weird, at least for me. That was kind of weird, but they can definitely polish that up, because I think that what they were showing, like where the hit was going to come from, was like a very small like white circle and like a fist or a foot, and they weren't like flashing like it was on the Arkham games, where it had like the it was like blue with like the exclamation points out of the top.
Spider Vision, the Spider.
Spidey sense.
Yeah,
Spidey sense, yeah.
yeah, you weren't getting that. I think that might have been throwing a lot of people off, and didn't seem like the impacts didn't seem right. But that can all be polished, because it's not out yet. So
One of the problems I noticed was that like when Dick Grayson, when Nightwing would go from one opponent to the next, like there'd be a huge fucking gap between the two opponents.
He's acrobatic.
And then like he would just like go onto his back once, and then all of a sudden it's like over where that person. I know he's acrobatic, but like I don't just he's not long enough to go from like going to his back and then like there's something weird about this game that I'm not feeling it.
I thought you were. I
like the game, but I'm not feeling it.
I thought you were gonna go say that they gave him a Fortnite glider, and they fucking
Oh,
did.
yeah, that fucked me up too. Yeah.
But
Like, what
I
the
think
fuck?
they all have it.
But you're
Yeah, it's for
no,
fast travel.
not
Oh no, no.
no.
What's he doesn't?
No, no,
Mm,
there is a glider, but it's a different glider than Nightwing has. Nightwing has
mm.
it's not a fast travel glider. It's just like how he gets around. Same way that Red Hood he can jump mid air.
Mm.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah, that's right. He does like because he does like
soul
the
step.
Hop.
Yeah,
yeah, soul jumping or whatnot. And then like you can use
Sounds like a
vehicles.
move.
They show Red Hood on a bike, and he
yeah.
like takes a like an ice cream truck full of baddies.
They said the bike you can use across all characters.
Oh,
Mhm.
good.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
because everyone has a bike. Because in the very first gameplay, Batgirl and Robin they had motorcycles.
Yeah.
Which I'm wondering if like each character's motorcycle has different weapons than the other. That would be
Good
interesting.
question.
Think you think Batgirl has a Vespa? I'm just kidding.
That'd
Jesus Christ! Don't come for me. I'm
So
totally just
bad.
kidding.
be hilarious.
Honestly, if she
She
had a
does
Vespa, I
she does
wouldn't buy the fucking
T-Vines.
game.
That'd be
That's all, man.
hilarious. That'd be fucking hilarious.
It went once he said that, my mind went to Book of Boba Fett. So we kept
Yeah,
talking about all the
it's like a whole
Vespas. I'm
bunch of
like,
fucking review mirrors and shit. It's all
yeah,
chromed
I
out.
was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've been excited for this game for a minute. I mean, apparently they dropped the current gen versions of the game. Now they did you
Hold
guys
on.
watch it
I'm
with the
sorry.
No, they
commentary?
What
dropped
did you say?
previous gen.
Rewind. I'm sorry. What did you say?
Previous gen.
Oh, previous gen. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not the current gen.
Yeah, I'm still so I'm on the previous gen. To me, that's the current gen. So there's only current gen for these games now, which is PC, PlayStation 5, and the Xbox Series SX. Those so instead of the previous gen, those got dropped. Um, when they showed the like gameplay from like what 2020 maybe they showed Robin and Batgirl like taking on Mr. Freeze. And
Yeah.
I was interested then. I was like, oh, because
Yeah.
they show that stealth is a big part of the game, which I enjoyed in the Arkham games. But you're playing with someone else. You can play solo, but you can play with someone else. Apparently now they're saying that you can play with 4 people.
That'd be
So I was
awesome.
like, holy shit.
I'm down to play with
So
you
you can
guys.
Four
have the whole
people?
squad. Yeah, if you watch the video, the commentary, that's why I asked if you guys watch with the commentary. He says you can play up to 4 people. I was like, holy shit. I'm like so down for that. So they don't mention any cross-platform play, and I highly doubt that's probably going to happen now.
The only thing I'll say though is that sounds really fucking awesome when it comes to fighting, especially boss fights and all that other shit. But part of the Arkham games that was so fun was the puzzles and detective shit, like figuring shit out.
I mean, if you were playing Lego Star Wars, you would see that certain puzzles may require 2 people.
That's Star
And
Wars. How about Batman?
I mean, you can
Lego
apply that
Batman.
shit to Gotham. You can apply that shit to Gotham.
All
And
right.
there's
No,
Lego
but I mean,
Batman 1 and 2.
I mean, it could be like where I can't think of the game itself, but like kind of like Resident Evil like 2, where basically when you play the game through using one character, your impact on that gameplay impacts the second playthrough if you play through the other character. Like say if
Oh,
you
that'd
took
be cool.
like
That
if you
was
open up a door
Resident Evil
and
2.
like yeah, when you open up a door and you can't go through because something's blocking you, and the other person comes by and they're like, oh, I can move this item now. I can go through this door. Like that, I think that'd be kind of cool if they did something like that. But I
Wait,
mean, multiplayer in the
played that
Batman
one?
game kind of dope.
You played that
Huh?
one, the remake?
I played the original.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the original was that way.
I think it'd be cool because you're fighting a Talon or a bunch of Talons, I guess. But that's a big Talon, the big dude with the shield. And I wouldn't be surprised if they have one of those timed missions where there's bombs hidden across Gotham, and all 4 of you have to get on a bike and go to different spots of Gotham and defuse in a certain amount of time. And it's probably there's probably less bombs when there's less players and stuff like that. I think that'd be interesting. Like everyone has to work together, get to your bomb. If someone needs help, you do yours, help someone else with their bomb. I think that could be cool.
The other thing I was going to say is, and I haven't seen this like fully fleshed out from the trailer. Obviously, it's just a trailer or gameplay trailer. Got to get Gotham right. Like I always say that every fucking time that there's any kind of Batman story. If you get Gotham right, and even the navigation through Gotham, then it could be a fun ass fucking game. But I'm not saying this is going to be the greatest thing ever yet. I need to see even more, and we'll, just kind of wait and see.
See, I'm actually watching. I'm watching a gameplay that they dropped yesterday, and I kind of think what the problem is the camera angle. It keeps rotating around the game, it keeps rotating around Robin while he's fighting, so like his movement seems unnatural. Like there's a scene where he's like sliding on his knees, but the camera's like going around him to go to like I'm just used to the back perspective and not kind of seeing his face.
That's just the way they were doing it for like,
Yeah, I feel like that was for the trailer type
dramatic
thing.
effect.
Because like
yeah.
when you do finishing moves in Arkham, they do the whole camera swing around
What's
and close
different?
up and stuff.
Yeah, that's cutscenes that are like not cutscenes, but in-game scenes. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm not feeling this game. I mean, I want to play the game. I'm interested, but I wouldn't be surprised if this game got bad reviews.
I mean, this game's not out until October, so
Yeah,
we're in May now. So there's still plenty of time for them to tweak the game and do what they got to do.
All right.
There you
Maybe
go.
it's because it's too cartoony, and not cartoony because I mean the Arkham Knight game. Arkham Knight is like a high.
Blue.
That's like the
It's
fucking
because
bar.
there's no fucking Batman. Just admit it. Batman's not in it. Just admit it.
Well, it's not that I'm a Robin fan too, or not Robin. I mean, I'm not okay. Never mind. I was gonna say I'm a Robin fan, but Nightwing.
There's a lot of Robins. Okay.
That we're talking about. No, it's Nightwing that's in this game. That's what I'm watching right now. But like, and Red Hood is fucking dope. He was dope in the fucking Arkham games because he's in there, and Nightwing's in Arkham games too. And I think that's what it is. Arkham games, Nightwing is pretty fucking dope. Like his gameplay was pretty cool. Red Hood gameplay was pretty cool in the last Arkham game, but yeah,
I mean, the last Arkham game, people
I
kept
don't know.
shitting on it because they hated the car. Everyone hated the car. I
I
love
hated
the
the car
car
too.
Yeah.
I love the car. I was
I
shooting.
hated
I
the
was
car.
blowing shit up in that car. And like
That car-
the only thing I didn't like were the Riddler challenges with the car. I didn't like those.
I love.
Well, it was partly a car and it was partly a fucking tank.
It was a tank.
Yeah.
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 It was, but the tank was awesome. Like I was blowing up shit left and right. What I didn't like is that I didn't get to fight Deathstroke 1-on-1. I had to blow him up in a tank. So I was like, I guess.
All right, Cronus, you wanted to move on.
Yeah, did you guys do a free comic book day? I mean, I know Prodigy didn't because he apparently hates every single comic book shop in San Diego area.
I got a maybe on one.
This is
one might work.
I'm just saying, Prodigy, when I come down there, this is a business opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying, we could talk. I already saw Eton. We're about to go into this. I didn't talk to him about it though. I'm just gonna blindside him.
There you go.
Like, hey, I told him that Prodigy couldn't find a good comic book shop, and he was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, like for real."
Yeah,
we can just do it. He's like, "That's the way to go." What?
Hold on, didn't we run comic up in the gas lamp? Isn't there one down there?
There might be, but here's my thing about them. Cape and Cowl spoiled me. Like, it's a comic shop dedicated to fucking comics. Not that it doesn't sell some other shit too. It certainly does. But it's about the fucking comics. The way they display them, the way you go in there, you see the whole wall and rack and everything. Every time I go into a shop down here, it's about selling fucking pop heads and fucking.
Yeah.
It's a toy shop that happens to sell a few fucking comics, and I don't know why. That's like nails on a chalkboard for me.
No, I mean I get it because obviously if you look in the background, there's like those are 6 long boxes, but there's literally like 30 short boxes, like drawer boxes, like right over there. So, yeah, like I can totally understand that. But free comic book day was over the past weekend. Did any of you guys go do the thing? No.
I did not, but I saw people lined up for like hours.
Yeah, so definitely, I mean, like next year, if you guys get a chance to like do a free comic book day, just go do it. You can grab some free comics, and then hopefully, don't just grab free comics. Like go and like buy some shit too. Like that'd be cool, to.
I've been head by
support. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying, in people in general, like, like support your local comic shop if you want to get into comics. Like if you're not into comics, then just ignore everything I'm going to say. But
well, if you're into books, I mean, they have some graphic novels that are pretty good.
Yes,
usually too.
As an adult, that's the best way to go. If you're like, I don't want to grab the individual comics, just grab the fucking a graphic novel, not graphic novel. I'm sorry, a trade paperback or graphic novel. Those are like a little bit different. They're kind of like trades, but they're a little bit more adult orientated. But so I went to two comic shops. I went to my normal comic shop, which is the comic shop in San Leandro, and I picked up a bunch of comics. So I haven't read any of them yet because I'm still going through like my normal shit. But I picked up quite a few like comics from, these are all free. Like y'all are looking. I don't know how many it is, but it's plenty of comics that are free. I took my youngest daughter, she's 5, to go. She picked up some comics too. We had fun. Then I went to Cape and Cowl to go see Eton. I wanted to see the expanded shop, and it was cool, like to see, because I assumed that if you walk into Cape and Cowl Comics, I assumed that they expanded to like the right of the shop, but they didn't. It was like deeper in the shop.
Shit.
So I was like, that's interesting. So it was like, it was really cool. I think I picked up a couple of things. I picked up probably a few things for my daughter, but the thing I got for me was a Bitter Root. So I haven't read any of this. And so I decided.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
You're
I
in
read
for a
it.
fucking treat.
Yeah. So I picked up the first one of that. And then I also picked up, I got another trade. I think it was something for Riley. And then I got her a pop vinyl. So yeah, and then I got to see Eton and like hang out for a second.
This is no spoiler at all, but Bitter Root is going to become, I think, an HBO show or Netflix. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And it's basically Harlem Renaissance Ghostbusters.
Nice. Yeah.
So
definitely want to, read at least the first one. And then I got, what was it? Something about the children. The killing the children. Something about the children. I can't remember now. Something's killing the children. A couple weeks ago.
Fuck them kids.
It's all bad.
This is another one that got he has like pretty high reviews. I haven't read it yet though. I'm probably gonna read the next week or two.
Well, that's an Eisner Award winner.
Yeah,
that little sticker.
I think so is Bitter Root. Is it Eisner or yes? It's a continuing series winner from 2 years ago.
Yeah, that shit is hot. I love that one.
So yeah, if you support your local comic shops if they're not shitty.
Is free comic book only one day out of the year, or is there like multiple instances of free comic book day?
I think
Annual.
It's the first. Is it the first or second? I'm pretty sure it's the first Saturday in May, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty sure that's what. Yeah, first Saturday. Jesus Christ, right fucking here.
Says it right there.
First
Goddamn.
Saturday in May.
Right on the
And what's ridiculous?
in the bag.
Let me show you the ridiculous part. It's like literally that bag that I showed you. This bag is full of those bags.
God damn. Holy fuck.
What's kind of cool is like a lot of the comic book shops, like if you get there early, you get comic books. Like they usually have a lot that lasts out through the day. So like if you have to work that day or you need to go to church or some reason, you can still make it out. But yeah, first Saturday of May, right?
And also, honestly, if you're like a working class person and you work 5 days a week and you can't, or if you work on at least a Wednesday or a Saturday or whatever, and you can't pick up your free comic book day comics, if you already are a subscriber of comic books, you can probably just ask them, hey, can you just put in you can ask them what do you have for free comic book day, and they'll just pick them out and they'll put them in your drawer or whatever, your box. And you're fine because I got one of mine early for my daughter, so because it was like a cool thing with Spider-Man, you could draw it and shit like that. So like, yeah, let's get that one, and so she can have some fun with it.
Is she liking comics so far? I mean, she's 5.
She's a little hot and cold with them because she doesn't because she gets them, but she wants to try because she can read some stuff, kind of actually sort of quite a bit, but when it comes to comic books, she probably needs me to read them to her, but she also sees the pictures. She's she just wants to see the pictures.
Did she? I was gonna say, did you pick up the My Little Pony comics for her? Because there was one, and there was a crossover with Transformers.
Yeah, I think I got one, and then I got her a lanyard for My Little Pony. And she's like, "What's this for?" And I was like, "What's a lanyard for?" You go to it's a convention. She's like, "What's a convention?" I was like, "You've been to 2 of them, but you were." So yeah.
I'm just amazed the bronies didn't pick up all of the copies of them, man. They go hard.
Well, what a good comic shop will do. This is how you know a good comic shop. when somebody comes in is like, can I get 5 of this comic that just came out that day? And they're like, no, you can get 1. Thank you, goodbye. All right. A bad comic book shop be like, okay, yeah, just take whatever you want. And then all of a sudden they're fucking sold out. You can't get shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember I gave your oldest daughter my Gym comics because motherfucker, y'all guys sleep on that comic. That comic was fucking great. I wonder. I should
the
look and
movie
see if
was
she ever got to
trash.
read them.
I don't
Dude,
know.
nobody
was
saw
trash,
that
but
movie.
The comic was totally separate from the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I know I talk
All
about that
right.
shit on podcast and every fucking comic book thing we do. I'm like, yeah, Jim, that's a great fucking comic. I want somebody to at least stand up and be like, hey, yo, Blue, you're right, man. Jim was a great fucking comic.
You know who it's going to be? It's going to be that same woman from Fanime that's been looking to throw a chair at your black ass.
Yeah,
That's
she'll
who's going to do
she'll
it.
throw the chair after she congratulates
What did he-
Like, Jim,
What did he kept saying
Jim was
wrong?
good.
What did he
I kept saying
wrong?
Almighty.
Almighty. That's
I kept
what it
saying,
was.
yeah, I kept saying Almighty when his name was just Mighty.
I think
Almighty.
if she had a gun, she might have shot you. I'm just saying.
Real.
My favorite thing about that though is she warned Blue twice, and she was just like, "Say it again, say it again. I fucking triple dog dare you. I will fucking end this fucking panel right now."
I was kind of scared for my
That's
life. I was
terrible.
waiting for somebody to say, "Get your head out of my pocket." And I was like, "Oh shit, man, I gotta go."
It's all bad, and the room was packed too. It was
Yeah,
packed. It was a packed room, so it would have been all bad.
Never
You know something? Cool thing with my son. He knows how to say Batman, which is fucking proud dad
awesome.
moment. Yeah, like yesterday. No, actually today he was wearing Batman's like gear, and yeah, he knows how to say Batman. I mean, he doesn't say like you can. It's clear as day he's saying Batman, but like he announced that he like mumbles the word Batman. I'm like, okay, he's saying Batman.
That's amazing. Blue. No, it's not amazing because I mean you're blue and you have a Batman shirt on right now. I mean, Jesus Christ.
But I got Spider-Man and BMO behind me.
That is true. And is that Yakko behind you too?
Wacko. Yeah, that do. Yeah. What were we talking about?
I want to talk about something else, but I think we're trying to wrap it up.
Comics.
Because I definitely there's another thing I want to put on to Roe versus Wade, but we started kind of late, so we can, if you want to, we can wrap it up.
Damn. I was hoping within the last we can squeeze in some Doctor Strange because I know that you saw it, brothers. Do you think you can do a non-spoilery? I mean, the movie's relatively new.
Prodigy saw
one
it
thing
too.
got spoiled.
No, I did not.
No, he hasn't.
Oh, you
I
didn't
saw
see
it.
Oh, Jesus.
No, I saw it Monday night.
Blue, you didn't see either?
No, I haven't seen it. I'm not
Okay.
ready yet.
So my thoughts are, first of all, I'm really surprised that it wasn't rated R. Like it's like really skirting the line.
Mm-hmm.
Second, it has hands down the most fucked up deaths in the entire MCU.
Mm-hmm.
Easily the most fucked up deaths. I was like, dude, how is this in an MCU movie? Because like people, I was like, bro,
people get fucked up,
and they died like, I don't even know how can I put this. They
died very badly,
like Speed Racer. If you go back and watch old Speed Racer, when somebody dies, they don't come back. They ain't coming back in this shit.
Oh yeah,
like fucking Naruto. Like when you die in Naruto,
like you ain't coming back.
You ain't coming back.
Yeah,
they're not bouncing back.
Character is gone.
Whoo boy, I was watching parts of it. I was like, did they just? Okay, they did. All right.
Yep.
Like it ain't coming back. So, it is definitely. It's not the best MCU movie, but it is definitely the most gory, the most scary, and the most horror in an MCU movie. So, yeah, I definitely I enjoyed it. Like both me and K-Mac. It was kind of like a surprise to me because I was thinking about going to go see my old jiu-jitsu like crew, like watching a UFC fight. And she was like, "Oh, do you want to do a date night?" And I was like, "Yes." So she wanted to go watch a movie. So I was like, "All right, let's go." So our first time watching a movie that I didn't literally rent the entire theater out to go watch a movie in, and it was pretty cool. Like it wasn't totally packed. It was nice because apparently now you can, when you go and do a movie at I think it's like Century or wherever we went. But anyway, you can order your food and all that shit and your drinks before you go to the theater, and they have it ready for you. And you just pick it up and you pay for it all. You just pick it up and you just go into your seats, and they're all assigned seats. So
that's cool.
It's like the Middle East now. Because back when I was in the Middle East, that's what you could do too.
That's how it was in Japan as well.
Yeah, it's
like
way
you order food straight from your seat. Yeah.
And you can get it delivered to your seat. If you want to just sit down, have them deliver it to you, they can do that. So, yeah.
I concur with pretty much everything you said. I will add, because I think you had the same sentiment as I did. This is definitely not for children. I would say 7 and under, because this could potentially mess them up. They probably won't sleep very well for a week because they do some legit mess. There's a lot of creature effects, and some of
Yeah.
these things could terrify small children. If you have kids that are probably 8 and 9, I mean, you know your kids better than anyone else. Use your own discretion. I don't know what you're doing at home, but I would say for most kids that are probably 7 and under, this is not a good idea. Especially if they're watching like just the cartoons and they're like, "Hey, you guys like Marvel? Let's go see Doctor Strange." They may come back a little messed up. There's some
Well,
pretty. There's a lot of death. There's a lot of death. There's gore and a bunch of monsters. to
there's a
be real.
IGN has an article that states that Doctor Strange 2 should have been rated R.
It could have
Like,
been.
you're not the only one.
If you're a fan of, if you follow Sam Raimi, who did the original Spider-Man back in the early 2000s, he also did another superhero movies, a set of movies in the 90s called Darkman. Um, and he's done Evil Dead. He does his classic signature stuff,
Not surprising
but
because, yeah,
yeah,
there's somebody in
yeah.
that.
So, but
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he filmed like with a lot more guts and gore, and they just edited down to make it PG-13 because there's there's not a whole lot of blood, but there's a decent amount, and there could have been more, and I'm just like, you can tell that he put like guts and shit everywhere, and they just like kind of trim it down a bit.
oh,
I
PG-13.
didn't actually. I tried to temper my expectations because I had no idea which way this movie was going to go, and I was like, "Holy shit! This did not go anywhere near the way I was expecting at all." I was like, "Holy shit! I did not expect that at all."
I want,
But
I want to put,
I was entertained by this film. Go ahead.
I want to put one thing out there. I think the MCU hates the Inhumans.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
that show's
They-
fucking
I think
garbage.
No, 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 no.
They
Just
learned
not
their
even just
lesson.
beyond the show. They just hate the entire concept of the Inhumans. They hate them with a passion. So I think that's the reason why. I think that's the reason why they had Miss Marvel basically not be an Inhuman. She has like crazy different powers, which is, I mean, honestly, as I'm thinking about it, it's okay because she's kind of like, Mr. Fantastic.
Read.
Yeah, but I'm wholeheartedly think that they just hate the Inhumans, like the whole concept of all of them.
For sure, because like with Agents of Shield, they like for example, what's her girl's name?
Quake.
Yeah, Quake. Like her mom is like they touch on them being Inhumans. Like they're a breed of people who blah blah blah, and like they talk about like there's people on the moon and stuff like that in Agents of Shield, but they never really got into it. Like never say like Inhumans. They never call them Inhumans. They call them something else.
Yeah.
But like
They
once
call
the
them
Inhuman show
Inhumans.
dropped, they never used the word Inhumans in Agents of Shield. They called them something else.
Yes, they do. They call them Inhumans. They stopped calling them Inhumans after the show like tanked.
I'm just saying.
But they definitely call them Inhumans, especially when they meet Yo-Yo, because she's trying to deal with her powers, and Quake is like, "I'm an Inhuman too. I can help you with your powers." And then the other Hispanic guy, she talks about helping him because he had no control over his powers. And then they have that whole season about the Kree when they go into the future. So
I'm just saying that movie has the most disrespectful deaths in the MCU.
I mean,
it is worse than the Hulk getting his ass beat back into fucking Bruce Banner. It's worse than that. There's more disrespectful than that.
And there's more than one. That's the thing. It's not just that. There's like multiple people get fucking handed, and then they get ended. I'm like, God dang, that they did that all bad. Like it's like Cronus said, they're not coming back. You're not coming back from that. You ain't coming back. You were done. And then like there's a lot of stuff that's pulled from current Marvel properties that are in the film. Like you don't need to see them, but it would definitely help explain a lot of stuff. At least one of them in particular will help you understand at least the beginning of the film. I mean, it's not necessary. Like I said, it's not necessary, but it will definitely help with the drive of certain characters or whatnot. But I really like Sam Raimi. I like the way he did. I feel like he did have kind of a misstep with one of the characters. I mean, I think it's mainly because there's a lot of characters in this fucking film, and it kind of gets away from Strange because he's supposed to be the central part. And when they put one character to the side, it snaps back to Strange and his dealings and stuff. And we find out more about him. There's actually shit that they didn't bring up at all in this first film. We found out in this one. So
I wasn't necessarily in a rush with this one. I'm still kind of on the fence of whether I'll see it. Here's the thing, and if you rewind the tape, I guess it was like 5-6 years ago. I didn't really love the first one for Doctor Strange. It was an okay one. I saw it like once. I never went back to it. I just didn't really feel it all that
you
much.
didn't go back to the first Doctor Strange. It's actually pretty fucking good.
Yeah,
I'm the same. It was just okay. I've only seen it once, and Sweden, she loved it, but
Yeah,
just
I thought it was good. I wasn't. I mean, I know Dormammu. I'm not a huge fan of Dormammu, but Strange himself, he had a good come up. And then this one kind of continues on, even after the facts of all the shit that happened in the MCU, which is addressed. There's also a lot of shit that fans may have complained about. They address that in the film as well. So
Yeah, there's like when they reveal like who the villain is and like the motivations of the villain, I was like, this has a lot of holes in it. And then like at the end of the movie, it's like, oh, these are the holes, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, thank you. So yeah,
and I think some of the holes are also filled in by other MCU properties that if you had seen them, you would be like, oh, I know about this. Oh, I recognize that character. Oh, this makes more sense now because either their story continues in this or it ends in this movie.
yeah.
So,
Well, and it also this movie sets up actually in the movie. It has one of the best storylines of Marvel of all time. I'm not going to say which one it is, but you probably already know from like the fucking trailers or whatever. But literally, it leads into that. It cannot be page for page that storyline because of obvious reasons. That if you already, I don't want to give it away for anybody else, but you probably already know why they can't do it page for page. But it's still setting it up, and it's still a decent setup for like what they have, and yeah, I think it could be really enjoyable, like in the next few movies. So, yeah.
bro, they literally set up a few things in this movie, both big and small.
Yeah.
So I thoroughly enjoyed this. I went to see this with my cousin. He wasn't like he watched Strange like literally the day before we went, and he enjoyed this one way more than the first one. I enjoyed this because I'm a big Sam Raimi fan, so I was a little biased. But I did recognize that certain things were like, okay, I'm getting too much of this character. I need this to snap back to Strange, and it does that. But I felt like that's kind of a misstep where they focus on a character that's they're literally a plot device in the film, and they don't do too much until way towards the end. But like, the main focus is still Strange, but there's still so many fucking characters in this movie, and I thought it was really good. I enjoyed this a lot. Like I said, this should definitely have. I mean, it's PG-13. That's the parental advisory, but I'm saying small children, you should probably avoid taking them to this or watch it before and then decide for yourself.
fuck them kids. I saw Nightmare on Elm Street when I was like 7, so I can't get handle Doctor Strange.
Ooh, that's all bad.
I can tell you, Prodigy. I can tell you that this movie did a way better job with America Chavez than that shitty ass writer did.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Like she's younger in this. She's like a teenager.
Oh yeah.
But they still did a better job than that shitty writer did.
Because all right, I'll wait until eventually I'll see it.
Especially because like the only thing that was annoying is because like I knew how her powers worked, and I was just like, just do it. Like I know how it works. just do it now. And she didn't know how it worked, and I was just like, God damn it. But
yeah, I mean she does it, but it takes a minute to realize. It's funny if some of you, I mean, because a lot of our friends they have kids, and they're probably watching the Marvel Rising, which is like basically the Young Avengers on
Oh
Disney
yeah, yeah.
Plus. When you meet America Chavez, she's like 19 or 20, or even maybe even older.
Dude,
She's the oldest one in that group aside from Quake.
I think that cartoon started even before Disney Plus. I thought that was on the Disney
Did
Channel.
It did, and they just put them all on
Yeah.
Disney Plus because you can tell that they merged all the stuff together, and they have like mini movies, which is
Mhm.
like a bunch of stuff that they put together, and there's an order because it doesn't make sense if you watch it out of order. But when you meet America Chavez, because she rides a motorcycle,
Yeah.
and she's like a mechanic
Well,
in the animated show,
and
so
let me just say this real quick.
she's younger than that in the movie.
I haven't seen the Multiverse of Madness or whatever. I did like in general No Way Home and whatnot, although there were some things with Strange that kind of irked me, but whatever. But to Kronos' point from earlier in terms of the Inhumans, I mean, nobody said this out loud, but we all knew it. Like when Disney Marvel didn't have the rights to X-Men, they shit all over X-Men and over promoted Inhumans. Like,
They didn't
you know.
shit. They had to do what they had to do to get some kind of mutant style people in there. So.
No, no. There was some shitting on of X-Men stuff. Let's be real. But it is
No.
what it is. And then at the same time, you talk about Fantastic Four and more X-Men being like up front and involved, and I'm excited as fuck. So, maybe I'll get with it.
So my question, Kronos, have you watched the Batman yet on HBO Max?
No, I have not.
Only you have seen it, Owned, right?
No, I've seen
No,
it.
no.
Is it
Because I
Probably
saw it in
what
theater.
as far
yeah, I
as
saw it in theater.
so what do you think is better in Doctor Strange Into the Multiverse of Madness or the Batman? Because there's like a bunch of memes going around looking at the IG, not the IG, the Rotten Tomato ratings.
Hmm. It's kind of tough. I mean, I did like the Batman, but I mean, to be honest, it was a little predictable. Even though the cinematography was great, the execution was great because I think Matt Reeves is a very skilled director. However, I think the fun factor is more in Doctor Strange, and like Sam Raimi is a horror director. There's a lot more creatures and shit, which kept me a little bit more engaged. Versus, uh, this is what a lot of people were bitching about Batman is that he wasn't a good detective, and we finally get that. And so when you do get it, if to me it felt kind of like the Batman year 1, 2, and 3 and pieces of it put together. So I kind of knew what to expect. It's just the execution was really good. And with this, I know what to expect from Sam Raimi as well because we've all seen Spider Man from 2003 or whatever. So you know what you're gonna get. He's back, doing a Marvel film, but he did it his way. He learned a lot of things. It's been like almost 20 years since their first
Look,
Spider-Man.
Mofo,
So
I just asked you which movie was better.
I know I'm trying to decide.
Dissertation on world peace.
Yeah, shit. I don't know.
No, just right now, just the Batman has a rating of 85 on Rotten Tomato, and Doctor Strange has a 74. And these are
Audience score or
actually wait, let me look back because that's not the audience. Audience score is 87, and actually they're tied. Audience score is the same for both of them. So yeah,
yeah, so it's kind of tough. They're just one's just darker than the other. One starts out light, kind of, and then gets very dark very quickly.
swear to me.
Yeah,
Good shit.
I'm gonna have to come back to it because, like, yeah, because it starts out like MCU a little fluffy, and then like people get fucked up like in a bad way.
Wait, hold on. Old Ninja, did you like this one more than No Way Home?
Oh, did I?
He ain't gonna answer. God damn it.
No, I don't
I
think.
wonder if it's coming to Disney Plus is what I want to know.
Oh, probably not until like July. I don't know. Because I want to be fair because Doctor Strange is still fresh. I just saw it like 2 days ago. I haven't
All
seen
right.
No Way Home since it came out.
Got it. All right. Can't answer. Okay, guys,
Yeah, I
should we
can't.
wrap it on up?
Yeah, we probably should.
Good shit, Blue. What you got popping this week? God damn it.
Oh shit. What am I doing this weekend? Not a goddamn thing, actually. I don't have anything planned this weekend. We celebrated Mother's Day yesterday. I got the sweetest picture frame. The daycare that our son goes to, they did like a little handprint thingy. So I
Look,
like put that into a picture frame for her.
Blue,
And
Blue. For those who don't fucking know,
oh,
because a lot
sorry.
of people don't, the
You were like,
reason that you
yo,
celebrated Mother's Day on the 10th was
yeah. So the 10th, May 10th is Mexico Mother's Day. Since my wife is Mexican,
But you're in
she
America, goddammit.
I know, right? Yeah, we celebrate Mother's Day on the 10th. It's always the 10th. It's not the first Sunday or the third Sunday. It's the second Sunday of May. I think it's second Sunday.
I don't fucking know.
Anyway,
Oh no.
I just do what the calendar tells me.
Fuck.
basically. But yeah, we just celebrated Mother's Day yesterday, and so I got her a bunch of cool little things. So on Mother's Day, my wife had to work, so me and my son we went to the botanical garden in Berkeley because I know Prodigy had mentioned how he went to the one in San Diego with his daughter, and I was like, I was just looking for something to do, and it came up, and I was like, oh, let me go there with my son, and it was pretty nice. It's a cool little hiking area. It's not stroller friendly, so if you have a stroller, just prepare to just carry your fucking kid.
Suffer.
But it's kind of cool. Kronos gave me his hiking backpack that he had for his daughter. So, and I had that in my car, so I just put my son in that, and we just walked around. He knocked out, he fell asleep, but it was really cool. Like it was really cool to hang out in there and just like kind of walk around, get some steps in. Yeah, nothing's going on this weekend for me. I'm still playing Forbidden West. I haven't played it like in a week, but I need to get back in there and continue playing it. But I've been meaning to talk about this. The sweetness got me for my birthday. She got me the Samsung Watch 4.
Nice.
Which so far I've had it for like a week or so, 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks. And so far I'm enjoying the watch. It's a great watch. I upgraded from the Samsung Neo watch, which is this one here, is more square body. And I had this watch. This watch is probably like, I don't know, like 7 years old, but it's still a great watch, in my opinion. But I kind of wanted to upgrade because this one has a little bit more features. It has its own built-in GPS. It has Wi-Fi. If I'm not near my phone and somebody calls my phone, the call will go through Wi-Fi to my watch. So it doesn't just use Bluetooth. It uses Wi-Fi to connect the watch to my phone. Yeah. But overall, I'm enjoying the watch. It's a little bit iffy on the GPS accuracy. So like whenever I'm doing a walk, sometimes it's not very accurate of where I am, the positioning. So sometimes it'll say like I'm either across the street or it's not that big of a deal. At least it's still monitoring me. But overall, I think it's really cool. They have a lot of fucking watch faces, which is kind of cool, which I'm really digging. But overall, it's a great watch. So if you're interested, and the one I got the classic. So there's two models. There's just a Watch 4 and there's a Watch 4 Classic. And really the difference between the two is that the Watch 4 Classic has a rotating dial. So instead of like touching the screen to like interact with it, I can just kind of spin the dial to kind of get around.
Yeah, you actually don't want a touchscreen on, like, if you work out a lot, you don't want a touchscreen on your watch for like your smartwatch.
Yeah.
So.
But one cool thing, this watch has this thing called the water mode. But basically, it's like, say if you're swimming with the watch, you hit the water mode, and it keeps it. So if you're ever going into the ocean with a phone, like say if you have like a plastic bag to protect it, or whatever, the water is electrified, so the screen takes anything that touches it as a sense of something touching it. So it'll start randomly clicking on things. So it has this thing called water mode where it kind of locks the screen. But what's also cool is that like when you turn water mode off, it assumes that you're in water. So it starts playing like this creepy, I think it's a creepy sound, but it plays this creepy sound. It sounds like something from like Nightmare on Elm Street, but it's supposed to get like the water out of the speakers or from the microphone. Let me see if I can play it real quick. Hopefully it's not a copyrighted sound. But this is what it sounds like when you turn it off.
I can't hear shit.
It sounds like Nightmare on Elm Street. It's like
yeah, I definitely can't hear it.
Oh, okay, I got the in here. But yeah, it sounds like not very interesting. Every time I turn it off, I'm like, gotta look around, make sure fucking Freddy Krueger isn't around me. But overall, it's a great fucking watch. But yeah, that's it for me. Also, I'm kind of debating about going to Fanime. I've had a few people hit me up
Oh, that's right.
to do a photo shoot.
Dude, you better
I'm
keep
just
your head on a fucking swivel. She's still out there looking for your ass, man.
Speaking of Fanime, she's probably one of those ones that are looking for me. She's like, you know, I'm gonna book this guy and just fuck him up.
She's like, I heard you gained weight. You 200 pounds yet? She's got a baseball bat just fucking in her hand.
Oh,
Like it's ready to go. That's an old ass joke, by the way, from the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all listen for a long time.
Hell yeah. You better buy that woman a beer if you see her.
Yeah.
Well, if she came out there, it's like, hey, motherfuckers, is it All Might or Almighty? I'm like, All Might.
Yeah.
That's right. It's like,
Oh man. All right. Kronos, what you got?
All right, it's T-minus 2 weeks before we move. So
big,
yeah. We got a lot of stuff to
big
do.
Payback.
So a lot of stuff to pack still. It's all good. But you know what I'm gonna do tomorrow? I'm gonna go to the fucking float chamber again. That's right. I'm gonna fucking blow more time off and fucking go see the other side of the universe. I'm just saying. Yes, I'm doing the sensory deprivation flotation chamber tomorrow. I haven't done it in like years because of COVID, obviously, and other things. I've just been busy. So yeah, I'm really looking. You trying to make it do the thing? Okay, we still can't hear it.
No.
But you did a good job at interrupting me, so it's all good. Mission accomplished. Looking forward to doing the first part of the move, and getting down closer to Prodigy and my brother. I'll be living with my brother for hopefully no longer than a month and a half. We'll see. Hopefully, it won't be much longer than that. I'm gonna try to throw one party at my place before we move, and then get the fuck out of here. Apparently, they're not gonna do the landscaping until we move. So I was hoping they would do it like now. So I'd be like, hey, look how cool my place is. But they're not gonna landscape until we move. So I'm like, all right, that's fine. Other than that, yeah, just moving and working and shit like that. So that's all I got.
Hot shit. Old Ninja, what you got? Papa Layton.
First off, shout out to Stitch. Happy birthday. Because his birthday was this past weekend, even though he's not here. Happy birthday to Stitch. This weekend will be the same for me. My birthday will be this weekend, so I'm planning on going to a steakhouse here in the Bay. I think it's near the water or whatnot. It's a pretty expensive place. It was well recommended to me. So I'm looking forward to, hanging out, taking time off of work or whatnot. And then, we'll see what happens, how the night goes. And then I'm still playing this Lego Star Wars. Feels like a freaking RPG. I've been going back between that and No Man's Sky. 'Cause it feels like there's always something new and different for the most part on No Man's Sky. I think I might have reach a kind of a plateau spot, but every time I think I do, I find out there's new activities you can do or new kind of like, just random stuff that you can do that can get you all kinds of crazy stuff. Like I showed earlier on the cast, I picked up more comics because I missed Free Comic Day, but more High Republic Star Wars stuff. So I got here. I got some of this stuff next to me. If you're listening via audio, you can't see. This is issue 14 and 15 of the High Republic. So I'm behind.
Nice.
So these coincide with some of the current novels that are out. I think there's a new novel coming out in June. I gotta find a way to watch Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, which started last week. I think episode 2 is tonight.
Yeah,
I didn't have a chance to watch it. I was catching up on Picard, so I'm one episode behind on Picard.
Caught up on that too.
Yeah, the season finale I think was last week, right? And then I think Halo is still going. They're saying that the season finale was last week. It doesn't feel like a finale, so I'll find out maybe tonight. We'll see how that goes. So, gonna try to catch at least one of those shows sometime before the next podcast. So, we'll see how that goes. That's it for me.
Hot shit. For gaming, for me, finally after 234 fucking tries, I beat Millennia Blade of Mikola or whatever the fuck. Man, that bitch was fucking hard as shit. Shout out to those hammer users that helped me get over the fucking hump with that bitch because I was.
That means B-Boy. That's you. B-Boy Frost. That's
No,
that's B-Boy Frost.
B-Boy helped me die a bunch on her, but it was some randoms that helped me. So I got like 3 more trophies, and then I should be all done with that one. Finally, a real quick shout out to, and I'm gonna butcher this name, so feel free to interrupt me if I got it wrong. Nikuti Gatwa, is that how you say it? The
No
new Doctor
idea.
Who?
I don't fucking
Yeah,
know.
no idea.
Well, he's an actor from Sex Education, right?
Oh, I know exactly the fuck you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce his actual name though, but yeah, he's a good
Yeah.
actor.
But he's going to be Doctor Who. I've never really watched Doctor Who, but shout out to him. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll give it a try. Heard he's a good actor. Give it a shot, you know? Props to him.
Yeah, people were asking, like, who is this guy? I'm like, well, I know him from Sex Education. So I didn't mention that he's gay in the show because, surprise.
Yeah.
But he's a good actor. Like,
yeah.
Because the hate's gonna fucking come.
Oh, of course.
It's already started, I'm sure.
Yeah, but
Oh, yeah.
you know, the hate came when they had a female Doctor Who a year or two ago. But hopefully he rises to the occasion and it'll be great for him. And then I did see an anime movie that was like a couple years old. I don't know how I fucking missed this, but this guy's one of my favorite fucking directors right now. Makoto Shinkai. He did Your Name, and then he did this one that I just watched, Weathering with You. These are like almost slice of life anime. There's not a whole lot of ninja fighting and shit or gunplay or whatever, but some of the most incredible animation I've ever fucking seen in my life. Literally bodies Studio Ghibli, and I'm not fucking shitting you. Damn. So if you get a chance, check out Weathering with You or his first one from 2016, which was Your Name. Fucking incredible, just from a purely artistic standpoint. If you like animated movies, I've never seen anything more fucking gorgeous than the way he draws basically a modern ass Tokyo. It looks like fucking real life in some scenes. Hot ass shit. I'm on the fence. I may sneak into Doctor Strange. I may not, but I'm gonna meet up with my boy James and my boy Christopher and some others. I'm going to Vegas on Friday.
Oh, nice.
What the fuck?
Because James is getting married, right?
Yeah. There's gonna be a bachelor party over there. So
shit.
Where did we go?
Yeah.
Cheetahs or where the fuck did we go? Was it Cheetahs that we kept going? Hustlers.
Mm-hmm.
My bachelor party.
Yeah, so I'm trying to see all the ladies' kidneys. And
now you're trying to see the lady boys. Get your shit right.
Oh man. Well,
you got to order for fashion.
Got to be animated. That's all I got, y'all. Take us on out, old ninja.
All right, you just experienced Black and the Black times Infinity.
Kidding me?
Check this out anywhere and everywhere with Beathan BTI. It's BTHAN BTI anywhere and everywhere you listen to podcasts. That includes Spotify. And y'all like, they on Spotify? Yes, we are. We're on iHeartRadio too. Everywhere you can listen to podcasts, we're there. Beathan BTI. You can email us at beathanbti@gmail.com. We're also on Amazon. There's an app that'll let you know when we go live. And you can check out our official website, binheadproductions.com/BTI.
Has succeeded
in
penetrating further and further into the unknown vastness of space.
Peace.
Yet many questions remain unanswered.